Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 162 of the Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast. We are brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on or offline. Website design, SEO, Google Ads, graphic design, printing. We can absolutely help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, bbdigitalmarketing.com, and you can request a free review of your online presence today. My phone went off, and did I read anything twice there?
No.
Did I just read this in one line twice? My name is Milton Campos. I'm a black belt training out of Coral Springs, BJJ in Coral Springs, Florida. We got Christian behind the camera. Hey. Bo. Oh, he's not here today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, save, do all that stuff. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate the support. We've got.
Hi, I'm Ben Stark. How are you today? Thank you for having me, Milton.
Always a pleasure having you here. And today's guest is Charlie Vinch. You've been on before.
Yes, sir.
You are a black belt training out of, is it Margate, right? You're on like that border of Coral Springs and Margate?
We're actually Coconut Creek.
Oh, you're Coconut Creek?
Yeah.
Okay, Coconut Creek. Budo Martial Arts?
Yes, sir.
I love that you didn't just do the like black and red like everybody else, like my shit. Like you have the yellow. Do you still have the academy in Jersey? Is it?
We do in Jersey.
So you have one in Jersey, and this is your second.
Yep.
Who do you have running that place up there?
My head instructor that I passed the school on to.
Okay.
So we still have that running. He's been running strong now for 3 years since I left.
Wow.
Yep.
Very
Same
cool.
name, different logo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool, man. You're officially a Floridian now. What is it? After 2 years?
Yeah. How many years?
I actually said for me it was half of my life is now here. I'm turning 52. At 51, I was here 26 years. So then I was like, half my life, I'm officially a Floridian.
So it was 53
Fuck
degrees
New York.
today?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
just
cold?
kidding?
I'm freezing.
Floridian.
Well,
Floridian.
I wore a sweater today.
You guys are soft.
I wore a sweater today. It was windy.
Northern
Only
blood has left.
Well, it was windy, and then it was an old guest brought that, so I'm like, let me wear it.
True.
Excuse to wear it. Took a couple of pictures before you guys got here, so I'll post for them too.
Likely excuse.
But, let me shout out just Hero Academy. This was the retreat that I went to in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Awesome. I am absolutely looking for an excuse to go back. I went and it was like the end of raining season, so like we didn't get to do a lot of excursions because it was still raining. The airport closed down. I got stuck there for another 4 days. I am absolutely wanting to go back down. The guy Ron who runs it and his team are amazing. I'm like, I'm itching to go down. They just did a special like $300 off. Like you get everything.
So
you pay,
no, but like
you have to buy your plane ticket, but you pay. You get a hotel.
Why don't we do a Jiu Jitsu Dummies thing in Costa Rica?
Everybody says that, but it's just hard to like. Okay, we've got to make sure we have mics and cameras and do it right.
No. I mean, like the week you did with BJJ After 40, we should do a Jiu Jitsu Dummies one.
You paying?
No, we sell it to people.
What do you mean?
Like basically do an excursion event like they did. Jiu Jitsu Dummies presents.
I have somebody that's talking about doing that, but I don't want to say. So something like that is potentially in the works. I have to tell you off air.
Yeah.
But right now, look, there are other ones that do it. There are other places, and I'd certainly like to go to other countries. But this was like I didn't get to like enjoy the country. I did go. I worked like 3 or 4 hours every day, which was actually cool. I'd like take my laptop down to the restaurant, which was like overlooking like this cove. It was beautiful. I got work done, and then I chilled. We did jiu-jitsu every day. We went out on a boat trip, but all of the excursions to like the mountains and there's a volcano somewhere and zip lining. Everybody like you had to wear a poncho. Everybody came back soaking wet.
Why would you be doing anything besides jiu-jitsu?
Well, you get to do jiu-jitsu every single day.
Yeah, but I don't understand.
Well, you want to go hang out, and it's a beautiful city, and you know.
You're talking. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Just no, me fight, fight only. It was amazing. It was beautiful. So shout out to Ron and his crew. Again, the coaches there are amazing. The money goes towards, they give free jiu-jitsu to like all of the kids in the community, like the surrounding community. They like send vans to pick them up, the whole nine. So it's really cool. It's a great nonprofit.
Nice.
So back to you.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to make sure I gave him my little shout out.
No, of course.
Welcome back. I think this is
second
Trey?
episode.
No, you did 2 here, but we did 1 on Zoom way back in the day. Yeah, we did 1.
See that? It's 3.
Yeah,
You're right.
3.
You're right.
So how's it been going, man? How's the gym? I follow you online.
Uh-huh.
every time I see like new videos, there's like more and more people on the mat. So you're growing.
Yep.
How's everything going?
Great, man. We got at least over 100 people so far.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very
over
cool.
100.
I see you've done a lot of like women's self-defense classes or just self-defense classes in general, right? Women's stuff. You have done like women-specific classes. Very cool. I think that's a big thing down here. And then you're doing more than just jiu-jitsu. You're doing striking,
MMA.
which is cool, which isn't in that area, Coral Springs, Margate, Coconut Creek. There really aren't too many, other than American Top Team, which no longer does it at the headquarters. Now it's jiu-jitsu locations have opened up. Ben's an ATT guy up in Palm Beach Gardens. There isn't really anybody doing it. Like you're the guy.
Yeah,
you're the one. I'm sure that I know there's MMA gyms there, but not in
really.
that immediate area. There's nobody that does a mix of everything.
Correct.
Yeah, even the ATT gyms are split. You have ATT
Yeah,
Coral
that's what I'm
Springs,
saying, yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu only, then you have ATT All Striking, also in Coral Springs, but totally...
Oh, are they at two different places?
Yeah, ATT All Striking's by the mall.
Okay.
So they're not far from each other, but they don't overlap in what they offer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's cool. I knew that would be a good thing for you down here.
Yeah.
I remember where you originally wanted to go, which was like there was no... So just so you know now, I won't... if you want to say where you were going to be, you could say where you're going to be, but
sure.
I had... the city that if I was ever going to open a gym, I was literally even going to buy the name without knowing that I would ever open a gym. But in the city that you were going to go originally,
where was
there
that
are
originally?
no
Tell me.
Parkland.
Yeah.
Besides, I know the rent is just ridiculous.
There's just no buildings there.
But there's not a lot of places to go, and there is no
nothing.
There is no martial arts that I'm fully aware of inside of this. If there is, it's not on my radar. There's just
like
nobody.
almost completely residential.
Yep.
There's like a strip mall and a Publix. So
that's the thing. Yeah, I think there's like over by Hillsborough, which is like the edge. I think that's still Parkland right there.
There is.
There's like a karate place.
There is.
They always got the big. They got that.
Yep.
That inflatable guy.
Can you give us a standing demonstration?
I can't do I can't do that. No, my days of throwing kicks, anything above the thigh are over.
All you need is a good leg kick.
But I am going to Laheel. We'll shout out Laheel later, but I am going up to Laheel for some treatments.
Fingers crossed.
I'm like, come on, I hope something works. I was originally gonna go up for my shoulders, and now I'm gonna do my back.
What is Laheel? Can you tell me?
We'll tell you later. Can't say it this early in the episode.
Worries. All right.
We get blocked on the big G.
Okay.
And the big Y. I'll explain to you later. Gonna go up and get some treatments. It's like regenerative medicine place. Okay.
Steroids.
Yeah, I can't throw the kicks out. But that's the only other. No, don't say that. We gotta block that out now.
Oh, really? PEDs.
No, don't say that now. Okay. I think there's like that's the one like martial arts place that I think that I've seen, and I've seen it because I used to go to Parkland Chiropractic over there.
Yep.
Is that your chiropractor? Did we talk about that?
No,
I just happen to know that guy.
I do not have a chiropractor. Actually, I don't believe in chiropractors
really?
to a large extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go to Parkland Chiropractic, and then I get my car washed right up the road at this thing, Rising Tide, which is a really Rising Tide's like all.
It's my buddy's school, Rising Tide.
Oh, Rising Tide is a martial arts school
in Maryland.
This is just Rising
sounds
Tide
like
car
something
wash.
that should be a martial arts.
Wait. Do you not know that that's a martial arts school?
No.
My buddy owns a school in Maryland. His name's Mike Stewart. It's called Rising Tide Academy. He's got a badass logo. He is probably one of the most successful martial arts school owners in jiu-jitsu space and MMA, jiu-jitsu, who I know. I think he has 1,000 students. No joke. He has
one location?
He has two spaces. One has about 600 to 700. The other has 300. I knew him. I've known him for years through the Helson Gracie affiliation because he's a Helson Gracie black belt. I went to his school 6 years ago, and this guy was like in this warehouse space with like 10,000 square feet, and he was like talking all crazy, and he's at the desk. He's like, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that. He's like, I'm working on this, I'm working on that, and I'm like, all right. Like I saw the hustle in him, and now he has like 6 affiliates that are part of Rising Tide, and he has probably one of the biggest martial arts schools that I know of in jiu-jitsu.
Do they also wash cars?
I don't think so.
No, okay, because the Rising Tide that I go to only watches cards. There's no MMA there. There's no jiu-jitsu there.
No jiu-jitsu there.
He's missing out. There's a huge market.
It's a really cool concept though, because it's all people with autism or on the spectrum work there.
Oh, really?
Which is really cool. They are the sweetest people ever.
Nice.
They have 3 locations now. One in on that edge of Parkland and 441. There's one up the road, past Sample. And then there's those are full service and they do everything. And then there's one where you just drive your car through and then you have to dry it and vacuum it if you want to do a little bit more self-service, but you still do the drive-through part. So it's really cool. So just wanted to give them a shout out. They're not a sponsor of the show.
Okay.
They could be if they wanted to.
I love talking about that because I love that concept. And I don't know. I go out of my way to go there. It happens to be every 6 months I go to my cardiologist and they share a parking lot.
So
it's
You're just
the one.
put these kids to work. What are you guys doing? Your parents are trying so hard. You get a job.
I think it's cool. I think it's a great concept, man. I think the owners. I think it's the original story. They actually had it on a postcard. Was the son had autism and he's kind of doing this for the son. Give him a job. Give something purpose. I think purpose is important.
Yeah.
And then it grew. So at least in this area, it's grown. I don't know if they have anything outside of this area, but it is a great school name.
Yeah.
That's been proven.
Yeah. 1,000 students.
Yeah.
It's an asinine amount of students.
Does that make you, as a gym owner, as a marketing company owner, I know what number, I'm okay, I have to hire at this number. I have to hire more at this number. I have to hire more at this. Do you got
1,000's crazy.
1,000 means
you're gonna need a
substantially more
50.
staff.
Yeah.
You're going to need
A staff
a
of
50 person. I would think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to manage your hours and the.
At that point, you've got to make a decision as a coach. I've heard this maybe from that Maya crew.
Yeah.
I know we're going to talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
I know Joshua and we've had Chris Rodriguez on, but there comes a point. She says it was actually Chris. She says, if you want to coach, then you have to get a manager.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want to manage, then you have to get a coach. You have to pick which one is your favorite thing.
Yep.
What would you do? Would you be I want to coach?
So as I get older, I would eventually like to go full Emeril Lagasse and just be shaking hands and have everything run to my status or my structure or whatever, demands I put forth, whatever terminology
shaking
you
hands,
like.
kissing babies.
Yeah. My end goal on a long term, my wife's international. So if I could have 4 gyms.
See, he said my wife and not your name. I asked her name
She's
before.
a very private young lady.
I asked her name before. I said, you know what? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know your name because you just always say my wife, which is completely typical. I'm just messing with you a little bit. But she wasn't she's back to her chair. Say, just my wife.
Just my wife. But
my wife, Allison. I'm sorry.
Alice, thank you.
We'll block that out if you don't want to say her name. Just kidding.
Sometimes she's very private. But her family's in Taiwan. So I'm how cool would it be to have a gym in Taiwan, a gym here, so I can have home 2, and then my guys are eventually going to be at black belts. Do one in Colorado. Let's go to Germany. Give me a reason to travel as I age and enjoy the world. It's
same. Do you have that same thought process?
Yeah.
Or
so Chris is right.
Hands-on?
Chris is right, and he is right too. Meaning once you get so big, over 300 students, 250 students, even more, what you have to start creating then is opportunity for your upper belts. Once you can't create opportunity for your upper belts, that's exactly right. One of 2 things happen. They leave because they don't feel valued in some way, shape, or form. Or they leave and they open up a place right next to you.
Sons of bitches.
Seriously.
Because what they think is, well, I'm a black belt. I've been doing this for 10 years or 12 years or whatever.
Running your place, doing everything,
doing your
selling
stuff.
memberships.
Exactly.
I can do it myself.
Or just teaching.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I could do better.
Surprise when they can't, because there's so much more that goes into it.
It's hard. It's hard. It's a lot. But what they don't get, so what happened when they do that move, there's no communication between the coach and the student on this is your path when you come here. And I set that out for people when they come to my gym. When you enroll as a white belt or even an upper belt, my job is to create a path for you if you want a path. So we can do this together, and I'm going to make sure that you can do this the smart way.
And maybe get you set up as an affiliate somewhere.
That's exactly right. I'm going to make sure that you succeed and not have to take these ridiculous risks.
Yeah.
Right?
If I knew 10 years ago what I know now, I would be in such a different position. If I had someone who was hey, man, let me walk you through this a little bit.
Yeah.
Holy crap. The difference would have been astronomical.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
So creating a path that the person can see that this is going to help, because dude, at the end of the day, if you have people teaching for you who are part of your crew, right, in your gym, you have two people. You have the guy who has a full-time job who just loves teaching because that's his thing. He does it once a week or twice a week. He doesn't want any more. He's not looking for any more. Or you have the black belt or the upper belt who's looking to make this his life in some way, shape, or form. And if you don't help him, he's going to leave you and take all your students, because it happens 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So I always thought, before I started talking to people like you and people like Joshua Fry last week, even Ben, where it's like there's a vision, and what you said, like when I asked Joshua's his manager Brian Cathell, how do you say his name? He said they kept on saying Cathell. It's spelled Cathell.
I'm bad with names.
I think it's Cathell. Brian Cathell. Sorry, Brian.
You know, like my wife.
I screwed it up every time. Yeah.
I just forgot her name.
He's like
the manager.
My wife's international. Yes. So I asked Brian, I'm like, do you what does the future hold for you? You looking to open academy? He's like, nope. I'm like, I'm building this with him. I don't know if like specifically benefits, but like what Joshua's bringing to the table for his staff seems, we didn't go into incredible detail about it, but you can see that he's taking care of his staff and they want to be there. It's the classic problem, I know, at least in the jiu-jitsu world, is like you have your students that come and coach and you get away with not paying them anything, and they're your student coaches. Maybe like they give you free membership if you ask, so you're still paying and you're coaching for free. Yep. And then there is no long-term, again, like I know from the academies that I've been at, my first academy was brand new, so we didn't even get to that point, but I was somebody who coached like out of the gate at white belt. I mean, I was 40 years old as a white belt. He felt like I was responsible enough to open if he couldn't be there. He had a regular job. Yeah. Second academy, one master here. Like there was no like, hey, let's get you set up and let's build this. It was just like you would be competition to me. Mm-hmm. I've never really wanted to own a gym, but there were times where I was like, man, I could probably do this better.
Sure.
And then I again, I would never say that, because then it would be like, oh, you're here to gain info and leave and be my competitor across the street. But I guess if you treat your people right, they're not going to look to do that.
That's right.
It's like you got to give them a reason to never, not that you got to give them a reason not to follow their dreams, but you give them so much that there's like, why would I leave? Or let me open up a, you can own the place. You're an affiliate. Maybe we co-own. I don't know how you would do it, but like, maybe we're together. Like how do we do that? Like it benefits both of us. And I've done the hard work. I know all the mistakes that you can make, right? I'm speaking like if I'm you, right? I know all the mistakes. I know the problems. I've been to all the trainings. I've been to the Maya events, right? I know how to do this. And you going out and doing it on your own versus us doing it together is like, those are two completely different things.
Yeah. Mm. When you have somebody who's like you said, you're the coach who's on, your side. And let's say Ben is one of my students, okay? Ben's almost black belt, he's brown belt, and I'm like, hey Ben, what do you really want out of martial arts? And he's like, hey, I want to be an instructor for life. I want to create a sustainable lifestyle that I can teach, pay my bills, have health insurance, not have to worry about certain stuff, and basically
health insurance for jiu-jitsu coaches?
Absolutely.
That's absurd, Charlie.
No, it's not, because
nobody does that, right? Am I? You guys? I mean,
yes,
Josh does it.
Josh does it.
Yeah. A lot of places don't.
A lot of
the
places
majority don't.
They don't.
So, like, I had a relatively successful gym with no training, and I don't know if that's because I have a good Instagram for the gym or just a good location. But either way, I did very well.
I think it's that you're just like amazingly handsome devil. That
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm bringing the whole
look
Hogan
at you.
stash back.
Look at you. The what? The what stash?
The Hogan stash. But I've added a little extra.
We're
bringing it back.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think that's it. And then
Can you rip your shirt off?
No,
well, maybe not right now. Not right now. No,
it's my only purple shirt. But like as things progressed, I'm like, oh, I just instinctually did a handful of things right.
Yeah.
And now I'm figuring out that as we're trying to like level up,
scale up,
I know nothing.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
How integral a part of your business has Maya been? Like being part of Maya. I know you're part of Maya. Like they're like, I guess you guys, there's like, I don't know if those masterminds that they're talking about are like officially under Maya, or those just things that you guys wind up doing by yourself.
So like I've been with Maya for 5 months.
And just anybody that doesn't, Maya is what, Martial Arts
Industry Association.
Yep.
So I've been with them like 5 or 6 months.
By the way.
They're great.
Yeah.
You should come.
Great. Yeah, you should go.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it for free.
Wait, if you want to come, do you want to come in March? Or you can be my guest.
There's one next week.
The one in March is more about Academy owners.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I want to do MayaCon where we can set up a booth and be talking about Academy Safe.
I'll get you in.
If I was trying to offer. We are a nonprofit without like the Academy Safe itself doesn't have a lot of money to be laying out. I saw what the package prices are. If they could make me some kind of deal, or we can have people come on and we can talk about MayaCon leading up.
Okay. And
I don't know, something. It would be great if we had it for free, based on just like what we're trying to do. But I don't know that anybody would be like, well, that's just a business, pay like everyone else. If there was something
high up ins, you're already connected to Chris. She's right there.
Yeah, I can ask her. I have Mr. Metzger's phone number personally, and I will text and call him.
I would if somebody would give us the opportunity, that would be a huge coming out party for us.
I'll put it out there.
I would love to do something.
I can't promise.
For me, it's, I know they're their own organization, they have people, but like what we can bring to the table between, a lot of times I bring the marketing company, the podcast, and now Academy Safe to the table when somebody's like trying to, hey, can we do something in trade, or what we can do? Well, I've got all of these things that can help you, right? Sure. So, with that, they've got their own marketing, but like having people from Maya come on the podcast, people talk leading up to and getting more bodies to go out there, more like we have a lot of Academy owners that reach out and this stuff resonates. That's why we're talking about it, because those, either there are coaches that want to open their own gyms. We've got people that are like reaching out on Academy Safe that have heard about us on the podcast that are just like, I have like a club at my house and I'm going to be opening a facility like that. I just had a conversation with somebody yesterday. It's just like, I'm running this out of my house right now, but we've grown to a point that I need to move into a facility.
Good for them.
So like it's conversations like that. So if there was something that we could do, if Maya could help us out, and then we'd have Rob from McDojo would be out there. He's got a huge presence. He would be talking about it. That light that he would be able to shine on it. I know that he would bring that to the table. Us posting about it, having them here, reposting clips from the episode, talking about Maya, talking about what's coming. Hopefully Rob sharing. Maybe Rob comes on.
Yeah.
We even said we send a letter to MayaCon to try to get him a speaking spot, a speaking engagement. So that as well. But yeah, anything you could do to help or facilitate,
I'll put it out there.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
I will do my best. I can't promise, but I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying about Ben. Let's say Ben's my student, right? I'm like, hey, what do you want out of martial arts? Like, what do you want out of martial arts? Do you want to open up your own place? Do you want to work with me? So you get two answers. I want to have my own place, or I just want to be able to do martial arts and provide a lifestyle for myself that I don't have to worry about getting a full-time job.
Real work.
Real work. And as a studio owner, like the guy who I passed my studio in New Jersey on to, he's making now more money than he was at his real job that had health insurance and benefits. So
real job.
Right, a real job. So if Ben's my student, I'm like, hey, do you want to get paid $65,000 a year or $50 or whatever it is that we agree upon, plus bonuses, plus health insurance? Do you really want to open up your own place? Or do you want to just work for me and not have the risk of doing that? What do you choose?
At the very least, you start off with risk-free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the path that I create for him. Now I know if he wants to own his school after that, he can work for me. Then we can do something together, an affiliate, either some sort of partnership together where I can help him grow, because I already made the mistakes. I already know what to do. I'm going to help you scale up.
That's the biggest thing. You could be a great business person. You could be a great coach. Those two things aren't usually... Just because you're a great coach doesn't mean that you're going to make great business decisions.
Kidding, bro.
But it's them having made the mistakes. I've done a lot of stuff like the podcast. Nobody coached us on this. I did not go to anybody other than listening to podcasts. Nobody was coaching me. I didn't watch podcasts about podcasts.
Yep.
Nothing. This was me and Bo thinking about it, going, we should do this, we should do that. Bo was part of that. Like, we should really do better cameras, and we should really do, like, he pushed me to do it like a little bit more high level than I would have tried to out of the gate. But one of the things I say is I've made all the mistakes. I like literally tell people, you want to do a podcast, reach out to me. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't do a podcast, first of all.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want to listen to me and you decide you want to do it, I'm going to tell you all the things that I did wrong. And like, this is the way that you could do it.
Yeah.
And, but that's the big thing is like, it's not that like everybody just sees this. Like,
Everybody
okay,
sees the good stuff.
Open up the door and beautiful sign and logos and gear, but nobody understands like what you have to go through and getting a logo approved and. You know, you get your first order from Pakistan and it doesn't show up, and you get screwed by this guy and that guy, and like all of that stuff. What systems to use? What CRM? You know, like all of that stuff is just like if you've done it, or you can get somebody to tell you like, hey, I made this mistake. Do this, do this, do this. That's the part. It's the mistakes that you don't even know you're about to make that really wind up killing a business.
100%. And what a lot of people don't understand is like, if Ben, you know, outside of him knowing me right now, if he's one of my instructors and I'm like, hey, do you want to work for me? And he has not even ego, but he's the type of guy that's like, nah, I want my own place. I want to be the head honcho. I want to be the light. Okay, cool. I want to help you. But if he's like, no, I don't even want him to help me. I can do it myself. He's going to make 100 mistakes.
Isn't it like 70% of gyms close in the first 3 years?
Maybe more. Small Business Bureau will tell you within, I think, the first 1 to 3 years, 60% of businesses close. 1 to 5 years, it's like 70%. And then 1 to 8 to 10 years, it's like 90% of new businesses close.
Not just academies.
Not just academies, just business in general.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it. I've been there. I've run businesses, and it's just like...
It's gut-wrenching.
You know, sometimes people just see the numbers. They don't realize, okay, for every new account that we sell, like, again, like what I was saying about students before, like, when you add a new student or you add X amount of students, you know, like, okay, it's getting close to, I have to get a new coach or I need a front desk girl. Yep. I know the same thing too. Like, I'm like, oh, we just added 3 accounts this week. I might need another person. I might need another designer. I might need another DMS. I need, not DMX.
Unlock the power of your online presence with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Their reputation management program ensures your Google business profile is seen by more potential customers. Black Belt Digital Marketing is your full-service digital marketing agency specializing in local SEO and reputation management. Boost your business today. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com. Your success is their priority.
I can't stop in the middle of wrestling season and just go get a hip replacement is what the doctors want to do. I don't have time to take off. Since going to La Heel, my knee pain is 100% gone. I couldn't even run from here to the door over there. And then after completing the peptide treatment, I can run miles now. Anybody that wants to stay active, anyone that's involved with a sport, anyone that has young kids, and you want to avoid, number one, the cost of surgery, the rehab from surgery, La Heel is the place to go.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Don't quote DMX. Oh, that's
my dog's
a puppy. Woof, woof. He quoted DMX on the last show.
You quoted DMX and misquoted who said it.
I said Michelle Obama said it. He said it was DMX.
Okay.
Now, if you talk to some conspiracy theories, might be the same.
Look at that. Yeah, but let's throw them up next to each other on screen and see what they look like.
Yeah, let's see if they look the same.
But I forgot what we were talking about.
Macron's wife is a man.
Wait, because I'm texting with somebody.
The mistakes.
Are you? Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry though. Are you definitely coming to the CPR tomorrow?
Yeah.
How many people you come with?
3 total.
You and 3 or 3? You and
me
2?
Including me and 2 more.
You and 2 more. Okay, so we're doing. Do you want to do? You need your certification?
Had I known, I would have loved to have done that. Bring the staff and I like.
You still got time. We have enough places.
We're going to Naples tomorrow with the family.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, or I would.
So it's going to be. I'm going to say there's 4. Me plus 3.
I want to do CPR and also if you've never done it before, bleeding control. A bleeding control.
We're going to do
are we talking
4
about
academy
kinks
saves.
or are we talking about health?
Health.
Oh, yeah.
Like
No
you get
experience.
slashed open or somebody cuts you or you get in a car accident and you're bleeding uncontrollably.
It's funny that he does not change even with his wife sitting 5 feet away.
It's literally why
well, she did walk away when he said kinks. Maybe she walked away because she heard you talking about kinks. I don't want to listen to this.
I need coffee.
But we're doing the, so I needed to do it my academy, the coaches at my academy needed to do it for Academy Safe.
Yep.
So it's first aid, CPR, and AED training. So they're going to train on the AED that they bought to get accredited through Academy Safe. And once we're done with that, I think there's maybe one or two other things some of the coaches needed to do, nothing crazy, and then they'll get accredited. So it's a cool moment for me to have my own school accredited on top of, just doing this in general.
Are you setting up an AED training anytime soon?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, that's CPR.
CPR, first aid, AED.
Yep. Oh,
the whole
awesome.
thing, everything.
Oh, fantastic.
Everything.
Even better.
We'll
Great.
do it. I believe we'll be doing it on the AED that they purchased there.
Okay.
So the coaches are the owners and the owners already have theirs. They both have jobs that they needed to have it, and so it's just going to be me. I think 3 of the coaches there, you and
2 of my coaches,
and the student who's the guy running the class is a white belt there. So it'd be like. It looks like 7, 8 people total, which is perfect. We didn't want to be more than 12.
Ice cream store right next door, so we can all have treats when we're done.
You buying?
No, I'm watching my diet.
But if you ever wanted to do it, I could put you. I know everybody has somebody that knows how to do it, but this guy Sam at my school, he can get you set up.
Perfect.
And I mean, hey, look, regardless of Academy Safe, it's a good thing to have, and you put it up on the wall, and people come in and like, hey, I also have this, and we do this, so. I think it's a good look.
Yeah. So what you were just talking about before that was the mistakes, right?
Yeah. Like I've made all the mistakes. Like if you wanted to open up a marketing company, if an employee of mine wanted to open up a marketing company, I'd be like,
don't do it.
Well, first of all, don't do it because you don't know what you're in for. But the hardest thing is getting the business. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
But I would absolutely be like, well, okay, I understand you want to go off on your own.
But
we
why?
actually have something in place with our CRM that I can set you up, and you could just piggyback everything that I'm doing. We would get a little piece of what you're doing and go ahead and run your company, but we get to help you. So go ahead.
And there's a difference, and Tony Robbins talks about this, between an intrapreneur and an entrepreneur. And an intrapreneur is somebody that works with another entrepreneur that does as good, if not better, than the actual entrepreneur. So Apple, all these huge companies have intrapreneurs, people who work for that company that do extremely successful without taking all of the risk as the entrepreneur.
Okay.
And what a lot of people do is they think, well, I have to be the entrepreneur in order to be successful, not the intrapreneur.
Like meaning I have to do it from the ground up. The entrepreneur is piggybacking.
Classically, at least for martial arts business, that's been the way. I've coached all over the world. I've made great money. I've made bad money. And at the end of the day, it wasn't enough.
Hey, pick that up. Tell him to pick that up.
Who's this?
Phil. It says I know the name.
What am I supposed to tell him?
That's that animal black belt.
No, this is his brother.
Oh, it's his brother. Still, say hello. Tell him you're on the podcast.
Okay.
Hey, put him on
Phil.
FaceTime.
Hey, I'm on the Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast. Do you want to talk? Phil.
Click.
Bye.
Try to put him on FaceTime next if he calls back.
We'll put him on FaceTime if he calls back.
We got to get them on. Him. I don't know if they're. I mean, I see that they like. Is it who's the? That's Phil, who's the brother that does a lot of the content.
Animal.
That's Animal,
Yeah,
but what's his
Rick.
first name?
Rick.
That's Rick.
Yep.
Miglerice.
Yep.
Am I saying it right?
Yep.
That's your. That's the guy that put the black belt on you.
That's correct.
Both of them. Is it like you
Both.
fall on both of them?
Yep.
Okay. It's like at Animal Black Belt. Is there
that's
something
what
more?
his
Animal
Instagram
Black Belt
is.
is his Instagram.
Yeah.
Like people listen, like, oh, I like if you pull it up, you'll be like, oh shit, I know that guy. He does. I like his content because he does that stuff out in the street.
Animal Black Belt.
Yeah. Animal Black, great follow,
does what
great
stuff in
follow,
the
and
street?
love to have them on.
He's a good dude.
You probably go, oh, I've seen him.
But what
Like
is he
he'll-
doing in the street? Why?
So like he would show
all,
like
like,
if you
the
got
self-defense
attacked or a
stuff.
knife
Oh, okay.
or like somebody bumps into you and that whole thing.
How to
like,
hip
hey,
toss
you know.
him.
But how's his chi blast?
Good. He's got a Philly blast.
I mean, we have the Florida blast too.
I'm not sure I know what you guys are talking
It's
about.
guns.
Okay. But great follow. I love if you
like his content?
I'd love to have him on. Yeah, I've been watching him forever.
These guys ain't coming to Florida.
We
Really?
can do it on Zoom. We do it on
They
Zoom.
like the snow that much.
No, it's
And
just
then we
they're so
invite them
busy
down.
with other stuff. It's hard for you to even get them down to do a seminar.
I was following them before you had mentioned them. Like, and when you mentioned them, like, I know that. Why do I know that name? And I don't think I've like put it together. I don't know if we put it together on that first episode, but I was like, oh wait a minute, I know them. I know.
Stack
I
a couple.
knew him. I didn't necessarily know the brother. And then I think I followed it to the school, and then the school, like I followed it to him, and then now I follow both brothers. I think the brother has one too. I know at least I followed the school. Yeah,
they both do. Yep.
So go ahead. I don't. Where were we going?
Good guys.
We're going mistakes and opening entrepreneur.
You can be an entrepreneur and make just as much money, if not more, without taking any of the risk. A lot of people want to be entrepreneur because they think that that's the way to go, built from the ground up. But people can be just as good at entrepreneurs with partnering with people as they can with being an entrepreneur. And the way to fast track any of that is through a mentor. So like the thing that you were talking about, once you get to a certain amount of people, you got to start doing this, doing that. But what happens is if you've never done it before, or you let fear get in your head, you'll go, wait, I can't do that right now because I don't have enough money, or I shouldn't do that because I this. But then you talk to your mentor, whoever it is, who's way above you, and they're helping you stand up on giants and see through. They're going, no, do this, do that, and just listen to me, just follow the directions. Once you do it and you see the results, you're like, I should have just did that. I should have just done that faster.
I've never sought out a mentor, and I know that I probably should. It's one of those things, like you see a number all the time or every time for like a week. You start seeing a number, and you're like, the universe is trying to tell me something. I'm following a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff because of Maya, because of Chris, having her on, and I follow her stuff, and I love her stuff, and I'm always. Well, I make sure to watch it because just those little. I'm not an agency owner. I'm not a martial arts owner, but that shit carries over into my world, into marketing. Yeah. Plus, I mean, she owns GoPro. Was it GoPro?
Huge company.
GoPro. I'm sorry. What did I say?
GoPro.
GoPro is the camera.
Yeah.
What is it again? Grow Pro. Yeah. Okay, proper shout out. So I know that she does that, and like we're not martial arts specific by any means. Don't let Black Belt Digital Marketing name fool you. Most of what I get is referrals from we talked about BNI. Yep. We were talking about BNI.
Yeah, BNI.
Most of the stuff comes from BNI. I had never intended to be a martial arts marketing company anyway. I just like, hey, I'm a black belt at marketing. I used to be like, I'm a brown belt in Jiu Jitsu, but I'm a black belt in marketing. So that's really where it came from. It was never supposed to be specific to that. But I follow her and I take those tips and I believe in it. But convince me or tell me why, as a business owner, why should I have a mentor?
Why have you not gotten one yet?
So,
what's your reasoning to not get one?
They're really expensive.
It's like almost like time.
Okay, that's good. That's
time,
money. What else?
But I should say I had when I was coming up within marketing, I always had I was always like go into a business. When I came down to Florida as a broker. We were doing a private placement for a company. The company went belly up. I'd go into I got a job. I worked at a moving brokerage for like 5 years, and I went in as a salesperson and I came out as the VP, making a shitload of money, but it was a miserable existence. So I've always been that guy that I go in and I figure out how am I getting to the top. When I was a kid, I worked in pizzerias and I figured out how to I'm going to be the manager. When they go away, I'm the one that's going to be in charge. I just always been that guy. So I kind of feel like I have this drive to do it. When I worked on a TV show that really got me into marketing, was just like selling ads, and you called like an associate producer because you're making money, you're getting in the money in. And my buddy that brought me into that TV show was kind of my mentor. We always had businesses going. I started my first T-shirt site while I was working there, and he was just so blatantly honest that it was like he became my mentor. I'm like, I have this idea, I want to take this, and I want to make. He's just like, that is the stupidest idea I've ever heard of. You didn't think about this, and I would just be like, great. So then it turned into this thing where if I had an idea, I would bring it to him and I'd say, all right, I've got this idea, poke holes in it. But I'm not telling the idea. And sometimes he'd be like, that's an amazing idea. How can I help you? Yeah. And sometimes he'd be like, oh, yeah, that's bad. And I did this and I went through that, or I know somebody that did this, or hey, talk to this guy. He's done that. So that was the most mentoring I got. And then we kind of why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it again? What's your reasoning for not doing it? Time. I really didn't, honestly, not the money side. I didn't even think of I'm thinking like mentor. I can get a mentor for free. I didn't even think about cost. But I know I'd have to pay somebody.
You could.
More probably because of time. Yep. And there's a little part of me there. I am this personality that, not that I think I know it all. Okay. I'm not great at having people tell me that I'm doing stuff wrong. Yeah, I can feel that. Listen, buddy. I can agree with that. And it's not just me.
Everything's criticism instantaneously. Who the fuck you talking to?
I was like that too.
What goes through my mind is this statement. This motherfucker right here. Yeah. This motherfucker's going to tell me about my bit.
I was like that too. I was like that too.
And I know that's stupid. That's the complete opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes and no.
Right?
Because if somebody is in your space doing exactly what you're doing and they're doing 10 times better than you.
And willing to give you
Hold
advice.
on.
Yeah.
They're in your space doing exactly what you're doing or where you want to be, and they've been doing it for a very long time. For them to tell you what to do and you think you know what to do, well, then you should already be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest, right?
I've actually thought about reaching out to my old marketing company owner. There's 2 owners. I didn't like one, loved the other one. And I'm like, I've built something up better than they did it.
Then you need a new mentor.
Charging more than double. No, I'm saying, but they're the bigger company. But I've thought about reaching out because he's scaled it up tremendously.
Yeah.
I don't love everything that they do, and you're just a number there. Like as a client, you're just a number. Versus like we charge more, fewer clients, but we give a lot of attention. So anyway, but go ahead, continue. So why didn't I do the mentor?
Why didn't you? You're saying, okay, it's time, money. It's not that much time because if you think about it, when you have a mentor, they're giving you an hour a week, maybe.
Okay.
You don't have an hour a week to help your business to become a better business owner.
Do you have a mentor, nuts? Or is it those groups?
I have one. I have one within the group, but I can call anybody in that group. I will call anybody.
I just found that out.
Text. Yeah. Dude, that's a super bad. Listen, these guys in these groups, like I'm giving this guy a plug. I love him. He's great. Mr. Metzger and Mr. Silverman are the owners of the Maya group. These guys,
that are going to help us out with that.
They have
table.
deep pockets outside of.
They don't need my money for the table. You can count me a table.
Outside of the martial arts industry, because they're doing stuff even outside the martial industry that they help people with. And a lot of our friends,
Josh was talking about last week.
Right? A lot of our friends inside of the group are doing 10 times as much as me in a school. So like, who am I not to listen?
Man, I heard someone on their holiday sale made what I made last year.
300 grand, 350 grand.
Yeah. I was like,
just say that again, on just their what?
Just
their holiday sale.
1 day sale.
Yeah. 4 hours sale.
Academy.
Yep.
Yeah. Made more than what I made the entire year.
And that's them netting that.
And it was the most I had ever made.
You know what? Kind of side note, because I posted this in the car before I walked in. One of the best specials that I basically say, nothing sells better than free. So like we're just doing a giveaway for 10 memberships. I'll plug it now. We're doing 10 Academy Safe memberships. Mm-hmm. It's a giveaway. You got to like us at McDojo. We're doing with Rob from McDojo. So it's like us at McDojo, tag 2 Academy owners or coaches. And then you're entered into this giveaway. So we're going to do it to the end of April, but we're going to give away like 10 full memberships, which are either $99 or $75 a year, depending. So again, like that's how like the podcast took off. We were giving shit away on the very first podcast. Send a question, get a T-shirt, get a coffee mug. Like we always did that, which always drummed up business. But I stepped on that only because I wanted to talk about Academy Safe. But what were you saying? What was this huge special that he did? Or was it because he was in this mastermind group?
Yeah.
It like what worked out about it? Why was it so big?
So it's the end of your holiday sale. I did my first one last year, and my expectations were okay, and I doubled it.
Exactly.
And I was like, I did this in 4 hours.
Can you say what it was?
It's your holiday sale. Hey, we got our old gear, we got the new gear coming in.
Okay, gear. Now I'm thinking memberships.
No, memberships.
Oh, yeah.
So your end of your holiday sale is your biggest sale of the year. Now those numbers vary year to year based on how everything's going, sure. But it is your biggest discounts of the year, and it's also geared towards paid in full. Why are we giving you a huge cut on like $100? But like for me, I did pre-orders for all my New Year's rash guards, shorts, T-shirts, new glove designs, new wraps. Everything's pre-order. You get it X% off. All our old stuff, super deep discounts. But the big sell is paid in full memberships and like one-on-one packages and stuff.
Yeah, paid in full is also a good one. I used to do that at my old company. Like when I was selling, when I was just a salesperson, I'd be like, listen, we'll give you 10% off if you pay for the year up front. Especially if it was like an upgrade. They were already comfortable with us. They knew us. And it was just like, look.
Yeah.
You can give you an extra 10%.
You're going to be here anyway.
Yeah,
you might as well say
you're already here. You're paying us. We can do this. Take what you're paying now. You just pay the rest, pay the next 12 months. You get a bigger discount than the payment monthly. And some people can do it. And some people are like, that's a little, too much for me.
But with the mentorship thing, if we told Ben before you joined, hey, this is what you would like. I know that you think it's expensive or it's this much time, but if we told you that's what you would get during one of your months or holiday sale or whatever it is, or your return on investment, you'd go, of course I'll do it. The reason people don't do mentorship, this is me kind of calling you out, okay? So just listen to me here.
I love getting called out.
Is because you don't think the investment is worth it. But no, and if I told you, if a mentor told you in your space, listen, the amount of money that I'm going to charge you, which they have to charge you, and I'll explain why if you want to know, the amount of money I'm going to charge you, we're going to be able to 10x that or 5x that. Why would you not do it if you could 5x your money and your following and speed it up?
I don't always believe that.
That's it, because you don't believe it.
I don't always believe it.
Because a lot of you see so much of this shit on Instagram. This is what we're going to do.
It could be.
There's a cockiness in this.
Yeah.
And there's also like, I know that I could mentor somebody that was just getting started because I've seen all the mistakes. I've worked for other people that have done it. I saw their mistakes. The company that I came from, one of my jobs was I was the cancel department. So people would come through, you know, when you go to Amex and they're like, okay, we're going to send you over to this one if you want to cancel a card or whatever card, right? I was the guy on top of doing upsells and cross sells. So like I was adding to existing clients for the entire company. I didn't have to just do regular phone sales, which is amazing. My job was very easy in that regard. But then I also did the cancels. For the most part, for a very long time, almost 4 years, I was involved with the cancel process. So I learned every reason why people canceled. And then when I opened, I heard all of the crap and the bullshit. And I hate you guys because of this. And stop sending me invoices. And why did you do this? And nobody charged me. Blah, blah, blah. And I took all of that and I said, oh, and I created my programs. Now we have, you know, like 6 different programs that you could be on, depending on what it is. But everything that's included are all the reasons why people canceled. You know, our hosting package, edits included. Why am I going to send you a $120 invoice every time you fart? Well, I need to change this, right? Yeah. So I took all of the things all the reasons why they canceled, I just put them in the freaking package. Posting more, doing blogs for people, like, oh, you're not doing anything on my website? We do a blog. No, we do a blog a month. Oh, you're only posting twice a month? This is ridiculous. What am I paying for? Well, let's post twice a week, right? So I did all of these things, right? So in my space, because I was at a company that kind of like is at the forefront of that space, like doing local marketing, it kind of like, I feel like, I don't know that I can have there aren't too many people that know more than me, because I came from the place that kind of started it. And they put all these things into a package and created this local marketing. So I'm like part of a group that kind of like has known, like I'm the guy that somebody would come to and be like, hey, how do I do this? So like I feel like I don't feel like there's somebody that knows more than me. Can you hold that thought? I've got to do some of these shout outs. I'm sorry. We pushed a lot further than normal.
I'm gonna run.
Right. Yeah, well go ahead, do the perfect timing. So thank you to our friends over at Flow and Roll. They're producers of the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll and check out the custom designs they've created for academies and competitors across the country. So your guys, Ben, when you got a guy that's like, hey, I got a couple of sponsors, I'm doing this combat night fight, get with Flow and Roll. They'll get their stuff printed with the logos. It's like a perfect opportunity for to work with them. He's not super expensive, but he can get them kitted out with all their sponsors.
Like one-offs for
one-offs.
shows?
Yeah,
that's
man.
awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to do a whole team, just one-offs. So gym owners, you can stock up on your gis and no-gi kits at flowandroll.com today. Visit their website, flowandroll.com. Get 20% off your online orders with code JJD. And then you can, if he's got a pre-order program that we don't really talk about too much anymore. He really wants to talk about that special, the 25% special. But if you are a new gym owner, reach out. There's a form you can fill out right there. When the website opens, there's a form there. It's more about gyms and academies getting with him than the individual sale. You can get to the individual sale if you just want to buy a belt and a t-shirt. He's got amazing stuff.
Is he still running that 25%?
Yeah. So if you want to order, what was that?
I saw the light turn on and I went.
If you want to order your some rash guards, right? You can get 20 if you order a minimum of 25. If you order at minimum of 25, you will get 25% more rash guards for free. So just think about it. If you have 100, you order 100 rash guards. This is a round number. You're going to get 125 at the 100 rash guard cost. Right? Makes sense, right? You're getting 25% more rash guards at the same price. Right? So reach out. We're the only podcast. We're the only place where you're going to hear about it. You're going to call, you're going to reach out, and you're going to tell them that you heard about this on the Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast. So nobody else does that. That's incredible. Shout out to our friends at Leo Optics. Let me put on the glasses.
God, you
Shout out to Leo Optics. These are bamboo sunglasses, right?
You're like a Terminator. Like a sexy Latino Terminator.
Shout out to Leo Optics, the go-to brand for sunglasses and apparel featuring their unique bamboo sunglasses. Born in Southern California, their products embody the BJJ lifestyle that we all know and love. Visit Leo. Somebody told me the other day, like I'm saying it right. It's like Leo. Like I couldn't even say. There's a Brazilian guy in my gym. It's yeah. Leo. I'd say Leo. I'm saying it wrong. Leo Optics. LEAOOPTICS.com.
Yo Optics.
Use code JJD for 10% off your order. And they are supporters of Academy Safe as well. I always like to point out, right? This is you get the little red. I don't even. What is that? What is that thing called on the belt?
Bar.
It's the red bar, but is there like a technical name for it?
Is there a special set of glasses just for 3-stripe black belts? I was wondering.
No. I wonder. I wonder if he would do like the stripes.
Like a tearaway?
No, just do like the stripes.
Yeah, just get like a magic marker.
Yeah, whiteout marker.
Yeah, right. So very cool. Love these glasses. These are my go-to. I have them. I have 2 pairs in the car. This is like if I'm wearing black.
I like those.
And then I have the brown pair. I don't have any. I got to look at my box. I think I gave them all away.
You know what?
But he
I'm going to
hooks me
start
up.
tagging them more.
He's also the owner is also we do the marketing for his pressure washing company out in California.
Nice.
So there's always something cool going on.
Okay.
He gave us a lot of sunglasses. I gave him away at a bunch of the seminars that people have been doing for us for Academy Safe. Like people have been raising money for Academy Safe by doing seminars at their locations. So it's been cool. Last but not least, Laheel Biogenics. They have 3 locations throughout. I would call it. Is it Tampa called North Florida? Would you call it North Florida? Like more Central Florida? What do you consider that? That Tampa area. People know Tampa. They've got Lakeland, Brandon, and South Tampa. Right. You don't need to go to Mexico to get treatments. I'm going up there on April 5th with Bo. We're going to film some content, and I'm actually going to get a treatment. So rolling every day is tough on the body, but pain doesn't have to hold you back. At Laheel Biogenics, they empower Jiu Jitsu practitioners like all of us here to recover faster, train harder, and achieve peak performance with the power of regenerative medicine. They're helping athletes stay on the mat and on top of their game. If you're not local, which I think is really cool, they do telephone consultations. So the process is easy. You can get a same-day treatment, right? They're really working their way into the MMA. They're in the MMA space. We're actually, when we go up there, we talk to them. What is it? They do stem cells, they do peptides, they do all kinds of regenerative medicine, exosome therapy. I knew they do laser therapy. I think it's that red light therapy, right? Mm-hmm. They do that as well. They do it all. We're going to be up there. You're doing the combat night commentating on April 5th.
Yep.
Where's the location? What is the location?
Kissimmee at
I don't know
Kissimmee's
venue?
Orlando.
The venue.
It's a massive convention center. It's where like Glory goes. Okay. When they do their shows here.
Well, check out Combat Night. You can follow Combat Night on Instagram.
Fairgrounds,
okay.
I'll look it up.
But you're commentating that night.
Yes, sir.
We're going. I confirmed with him. He got us 2 tickets. Nathan from Laheel got us, me and Bo, a ticket. So we're definitely going to be there because we were up in the air if we were going to stay. I was like, man, I wanted to go and come back the same day. So
it's only 2.5 hours. You're good.
Yeah, well, it's a whole day. I got to get up there early.
I forgot you're in
treatment
your 50s,
in the morning. And then,
no, it's okay. I forgot how old you were.
I can't now. I know Bo's got he's got some work to do. He's got a job. Like he does photography and videography. He's got a photography job the next day. So we definitely have to come back. But it's going to be real. So we are absolutely going to be there that day and go to the fights.
Drunk.
Yeah. I mean, can you get me backstage and I could take some stuff of you wrapping hands and stuff like that? Would
probably.
Be cool with that?
Yeah. You'll have to do like a media pass thing, but with this you should be cake. Actually, it's a great time to meet Mitchell too.
Yeah.
I'll connect you with Mitchell or Ramsey.
If he can get me and Bo just to get some content, I'll be in my Jiu Jitsu Dummies or an Academy Safe shirt. So we'll throw some shine on it and do something. But we'll be there with the folks from Laheel. Nathan and his wife will be up there, and they're taking us. They treat hundreds of professionals, MMA professionals. They've truly become the go-to source for the fighting community. And if you go there, if you were to reach out, it's laheel.com, right? So LEHEAL.com. If you reach out, mention the podcast, and you get 20% off your first treatment, which is really cool.
That's great.
That's amazing. I mean, you're talking,
it's a lot of scratch.
That's a 20% discount on this type of treatment. That's a big number. Sure. So I usually also talk about Academy Safe. People have heard us talking about it. We've talked about it a little bit. Academy Safe. We are creating a registry of gyms and academies that are following our criteria. The 8 different criteria that we have, the top line 2 are background checks and the Safe Sport certification. You can go to academysafe.org, just scroll down, look at our mission, and you'll see the 8 points that we're asking people to do, including having cameras, making sure they have insurance, belt and lineage check, just doing what we're supposed to be. Insurance, right?
That's crazy. Insurance?
Not so crazy. Right? I learned the hard way. I said, somebody actually told me, hey, you should make this a line item. And he was an insurance guy, so I'm like, okay, he's got something, he wants the referrals. And I'm like, I'm fine, I'll give you the referrals. It wound up some of the first academies that we talked to when we said, like, we need your insurance documentation. They're like, oh, I got to renew. I found what's happening is it's one of the things that a lot of academies
put you out
let
of business
go.
in a second.
But what happens is you need it to sign your lease, and if you sign a multi-year lease and they're not coming back every year, you've shown your insurance. The leaseor is not coming back. The guy that owns the building is not the landlord. Is not coming back. Going, hey, can I see your insurance?
My landlord's like, May, be ready.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but that's what they. Look. Again, we go back to doing things the right way, having made the mistakes. Like, don't make that mistake. Don't be running your business. There's like a physical location where people come in and people can get hurt. Somebody could just slip on the way in. Forget about getting hurt on the mat. And you don't have insurance. I mean, that $49 million award to the guy that had his neck broke with the coach that was doing that forward that back take. What is that? What is that? Is there a name to that back take?
He was doing like a rolling back take, but like it was set up far. It was weird.
Yeah, and his head went this way.
Handstand, and like I was like, ooh, I was looking at the guy's neck, and I was like, oh man,
he's supposed to go this. We're supposed to go over.
You're supposed to go over
shoulder.
the shoulder, like you put your shoulder on the back. So both of
your heads go this way.
Yeah, like when I teach it, your shoulder goes on the back of their head to force them into a rolling position, so that when they tumble into a natural shoulder roll.
Yeah, but what he did is put his head on the other side.
He had the other arm gripped, like he had a far side seatbelt instead of a near side seatbelt. So when he jumped, the kid had nothing.
He couldn't post. He couldn't. There was nothing, a hand or an elbow that could.
But also,
get him
the kid was a state champ wrestler, so he might have tried to post with his head.
Yeah,
and then you get two people's body weight.
Well, perfect example of you better have insurance, even though the insurance company wound up saying we're not paying out. We want to take this to court, and then they lost. They could have probably paid out a couple $100,000, and they wound up at least. I don't know if they've paid out, but I don't know if they're going to continue to fight it. But perfect example. But I found that it's one of the first things that people let go. They're just like,
it can definitely get lost.
What do I need insurance for? What's going to happen?
I mean,
they signed a release.
I got 2 years of like, hey, your insurance is going to be due soon. Letters before I was like, oh, I need to track this. And then, a month out, notification. Call them up. It takes 10 minutes.
Just so for people that are thinking about Academy Safe, if you go to the list to find an academy, there's the listings of all the academies. Coaches at the top. He's doing all 8 items. Staff members only have to do 5. Right? We don't need cameras. We don't need AD on premises, and we don't need insurance from you. So the -3, it's just the CPR, first aid certification that we need. We want to check your lineage. Usually your coach is the guy that we're checking it with, like, yes, you are at this belt. So they're doing the concussion course, the background check, the Safe Sport certification, lineage check. I forget what the other one is. There's one other thing in there.
How do we do the lineage check?
So we're doing for
belt checker. Is that legit, the belt checker?
Yeah. So for jiu-jitsu, we're doing the check. We do ask for the name, email, and phone number of the person that's promoted you to your current rank that you're claiming.
Bill and Rick, we need your phone number.
But like certain ones are just like, if it's like, our world, we're so on Instagram. If it's literally like a picture of you and your coach in your belt, or he's holding it, that is kind of enough, at least for jiu-jitsu. For other disciplines where they don't have necessarily like a belt rank, or like we've got a guy that's like, I do, Sambo.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, I can't show you. I'm like, he's like, literally, I'm not going to do a really shitty Russian accent, but I'll leave the Russian accents to you.
Hello, friend, please. Please, my
what are you doing?
My mister, Igor von Schlitzen. He give me belt. He give me jacket. He give me borscht. He give me AK-47
and vodka.
vodka.
That guy is just like, I have nothing. We don't track this. It's just like, I've been doing Sambo for years, right? So like, we have to. But you also do jiu-jitsu, so then like there's something we can do. And then you also do this and this. Like, we need to get a certificate, we need to see pictures, or we need to speak to somebody that we can find on a relevant site. You know, and like, so we check. We've been lucky that we've been jiu-jitsu heavy right now, where it's been very easy to use the belt checker, or we've even told people our very first academy was he was a newer academy. They would think there was some problems in his industry or in his area in that industry in the jiu-jitsu world. He wound up as a purple belt opening an academy, got black belts in, got coaches and stuff like that. And as he was going through the process, he made all of his guys go on belt checker. And then it was, belt checker is kind of like almost like a crowdsourcing thing or like a verification by, by your community. That's good enough for us. I haven't found it again, but when I was in belt checker and just tooling around a little bit, I got to this page that showed all the other checkers for all these other martial arts that they were like either talking about doing or launching. And I have not been able to find that freaking page again.
They might have shut it down. It was the same people, and they were just going to take the model and branch it out. I got in during alpha testing.
For like other disciplines, and I was just like, this is
Aikido
amazing.
checker, karate checker. They were going to do all that stuff.
I haven't been able to find that page again that actually literally had.
They were always super responsive. Just email them.
Yeah. Okay. The guy, I don't know I forget his last name, Christian from BJJ Globetrotters, was like helped start that or started it. They say that they're not officially associated with BJJ Globetrotters because of what it's done is become a community, like almost like a crowdsourcing project. So it's just like these guys that do jiu-jitsu and maybe are friendly with him have come together and they keep the site up and running. So it's just like this really community thing. It's not that you don't see BJJ Globetrotters anywhere on that site other than to say we are not affiliated with BJJ Globetrotters because Christian was involved with, I think, the idea or getting it set up. I think it's an amazing idea. I think it's how we have done the belt checking. So it's been very easy for us. We're very jiu-jitsu heavy. Most of the board is jiu-jitsu. Rob has belts in other disciplines. But we have other disciplines. But most of those other disciplines have also had some kind of
non-jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Who's that?
Maya. Because I think we're the minority. Jiu-jitsu MMA schools.
You got me, you, Josh,
Maya?
Mataro.
Yeah. It's like, for classically, he's been doing it for 35 years.
I've been in it. To your point, like, I was skeptical in the beginning about this mentorship stuff too. Like 6 years ago, went to a Tony Robbins seminar. I'm big on Tony. I think you know that. And he was like, really, when you get a mentor, it's not that you can't do it by yourself. There's plenty of people who can. You can. When you get a mentor, what you're paying for is not always the knowledge, but the speed of the knowledge that you can implement quicker. So you can figure it out on your own 100%. But when you have a mentor who's done it for 20 years or 30 years, they're going to give you things to do quicker and faster. So you're paying for speed, not for sometimes the info, but the speed of implementation of the info. Does that make sense? So you might find out in 5 years you needed to do something that you could have did a year ago.
He's telling me like, hey, listen,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I what is it? I usually say to somebody when I'm training in marketing, I usually tell them when a trainee or somebody just comes to me with a client question, they come to me and I usually ask them, why is the client asking this question?
Yeah.
And then say, oh, because this happened. Okay, we'll answer that question. And then I'll tell them, and this is what he's going to ask next, even though you don't know it yet. So I'm also going to train you on this thing. And I'm going to take that opportunity to do it. So it's kind of that. It's where I know what's coming next. Instead of you coming back to me with that question a week from now or 5 months from now, I'm going to tell you how to answer that next question. Because if you answer this, he's inevitably going to ask this because we have to do this, this, and this. So it's kind of the same methodology there. It's like I'm telling my employees like what's going to come. So let me just tell you now, so we just get ahead of the curve. As that translates to business, again, I'm making excuses for myself on not to do it, but as I'm making the excuses, when I make these excuses or anybody makes excuses, there's a little thing in the back going, yeah, why don't you do this? Stop being a little bitch. You know, why?
What's the worst that happens?
I sat with that in my head about signing up to Maya for like 2 years.
I saw how when we talked to Joshua, I can see, like, I felt like I could see the wheels turning a little bit. where you were just like, man, I
Josh
have
is
access
such
to this
a
guy.
fucking level. Man.
Yeah, he's like, when you, I
sure.
think maybe you hearing how many students he has, and then like, oh, I have access to this. Oh, and this mastermind, like, oh, I'm already in this. I have access to you and these people, and I feel like, again, you've talked about, you know, I think I mentioned the thing about posting 3 times a day. That was McDojo's, like, told us, hey, he's got 640,000 Instagram followers. Yep. Maybe I should post 3 times a day for every single one of my businesses.
Yeah,
and we did it. You don't have to, but it's like, we definitely knew we had to post more, at least once a day. We went once a day, we went twice a day, then we went to 3 times a day. But that, you know, that 3 times a day is like, hey, well, I could do one post on one company and do a collab. Now they all have that post. So like we worked that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And then maybe
Does that count?
It's
Who
a post
knows?
on my page.
True.
It's posted on my page. Who cares where it's initiated from?
Yeah.
Maybe we do a repost of something older, right? Because not everybody saw our content from a year ago. If it's relevant, we can post it again. McDojo does that. We've seen stuff like, oh, didn't I see this before? Just reposted it 10 minutes ago. But I remember that video. He reposts. And then definitely like one new post or one new reel, something, you know, like that.
Yeah.
So there's a way to do it without freaking going completely mad. You were talking about, I still think it's a great idea. You were talking about like, I want to do the content and have somebody posting that content that day on that class right there, right? You even like almost you would almost consider it real time. Like this class is going on right now and this guy's posting about it. Kind of, is that where you're going?
Or at least have them made. Because getting a post at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. is a little much. But getting it at 10 a.m., 2 p.m.,
like the
5
next day,
p.m.
it's good for the next day. It's good for content.
Yeah.
You can schedule out on Instagram right now. There are softwares that can schedule out across all
I
your
started
platforms.
scheduling this morning. I was like,
Yeah. But look, there's a method to the madness. You know, everyone has a different way of doing it. I forgot what I was really. I'm convincing myself that I probably should be doing it. The thing is, how do I need to find somebody in my own industry, or is working with somebody that's just business minded? I feel like I need somebody in my industry, and I don't know where I would go for somebody. Where the hell do I find somebody willing to mentor me on my industry?
That's dependent on your goal.
What is your industry?
Digital marketing.
Okay, digital marketing. In the world of digital marketing, I'm going to be very vague here. Sure. In the world of digital marketing, who is doing the best right now?
Besides me.
Logan Paul.
Yes, besides Milton. Besides Milton,
I don't want to say the name of the company, but my old company. Okay. The company that I left.
Hate.
I just want to preface here, because this is me asking. This is questions, not being rhetorical.
Sure.
Is there nobody else in the world that is doing as good as your company at digital marketing than your old company? There's nobody else.
There are companies. There are a few companies that are putting together the services that we put together and do all together. So the understanding of the why, there are companies that do just social media. There are companies that just do local listings. There's nobody that's kind of really, there are a handful of companies that have really put it together the way I have, even more so than the company I work for, has really come and put all of these services and the level of service that we do, the level of access to us. I talked to somebody that's trying to come over to my company who worked with my old company, and he was just like, the DMS changes every week. The digital marketing specialist that handles their account, the account executive that you would call when you have a problem, he goes, it's constantly changing. I'm like, it's me. I'm the owner. You have my cell phone number. My daughter runs that digital marketing department. So you're talking to me, her, and your salesperson for anything that you need. So it doesn't change. Even if I lost a salesperson, it's still me and my daughter, who's, you know, hopefully going to own this company one day, and hopefully not going anywhere. And then they don't even they don't talk to the social media person. They don't talk to the graphic designers. They only talk to us. So I go, that's a huge difference. You're talking to me, my daughter, and the person that sold you, which is me. It's still me. So owner, salesperson, and the DMS we put them in a WhatsApp chat or a text messaging chat. Anything you need, you call me anytime. I'm available to you 7 days a week unless I'm sleeping. Right. You will get an answer. I will tell you I'm going to work on this. Nobody is doing that because it's like they look at scaling, and there's just like nobody put the services together and gives the access that we do.
But I understand what you're saying. Maybe I don't know, but maybe what you're putting together is the next big best thing, but maybe it's not. And there's a reason that it hasn't been put together for the reason of that it just doesn't work like that. And if somebody else would have thought of it, do you believe you're the only person who ever thought of this before?
No, I mean, I would say that there are a handful of companies
an industry that
my
nickel and
size.
dimes so big time that it'd be like, it's the airlines, right? When I used to fly as a kid, you got 2 bags, a carry-on, and a food item, whatever. And now it's like, hey, you can fly, Spirit Light, where you don't even get luggage, you just get your lunch bag. But if you want to add it on, you can. So it's just ding, ding, ding.
Which is the way that the world works.
Let me answer your
Right.
question.
Yeah.
So there are companies that sell what we sell.
Okay.
There are companies that aren't delivering as much of that as we do.
Okay.
And then the access is probably what I changed most from the old company.
Okay.
We do more.
Okay.
We give them there are certain things that other companies charge hundreds of dollars a month for that we don't even charge for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's really not a lot of work of us to do, and we'd be lying to you and fooling you to charge you for this thing that we don't really have to do work on. So literally handling somebody's local service ads account, that's just included in our package. The other company didn't do it. They would charge $500 a month just to hey, we're maintaining this for you. Sure. There's nothing to maintain. I've got to tell you when one of your insurance expires or you need to do a background check for a new employee.
So it sounds like you need scaling. It's really what you need. You don't need to make your product any better. Your product sounds like your product is already better.
We're scaling. We just hired a new salesperson, but I'm trying to make the case for: is a mentor really going to be able to help me? And is it me being hard-headed? I know that of myself. Do I feel like I know more than if I get a mentor? I want somebody in my space.
Agreed.
Hold on, that's the question.
And I don't know anybody in my space that's doing what we do. I feel like we're doing it better than anybody else.
Chris is would be a good mentor.
Yeah. But she is. We're doing two different things.
Are you competing against each other?
No, not
Then
at all.
I would ask her.
They're handling leads, they're calling, scheduling. This
Ask
and that.
Chris.
She would be a fucking awesome mentor, though.
She would be, or ask her who a good mentor for you would be because you're in the same space.
Yeah.
Who is her mentor?
Yeah.
Which her mentor is.
Her output is
insane.
He's a client.
Yeah.
Do you work? Do you work with him?
He was in the same A groups that
I am.
Josh was in.
Have?
Yeah.
And so right now we're not, because one of the schools that she works with is right next to me.
They have a 5-mile radius,
which I totally get,
about.
And I've had good results with other places. But we may be working together next month because there's a transition that's happening.
Don't let that school know.
Possibly.
Don't let that school know that's dropping their marketing.
No, they're not going to drop them.
Okay.
There's something happening.
Enough said.
But Chris,
you're right. You're right. She would probably be a good person.
Yeah, or
to
she'll
talk to.
know somebody that can, right?
She definitely knows.
She has I think her company was a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah,
right.
I think Inc. 500 maybe is it.
Maybe it's Inc. 500.
It's Inc. 500 or even Inc. 5000,
which is impressive.
There is an Inc. I think an Inc. 5000 or Inc. 1000, something like that.
And I know for a fact they do.
I'm on the Inc.
Impressive no matter what.
Impressive no matter what, right? So
did you know that he's the 161st, 140th, and ranked hand rapper,
cut man in the world? Yes.
Hand rapper.
How I know you got your back to belt checking, because I wanted to ask you this before. I mean, obviously you don't have to check Ben. You got your black belt from Laborio.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any more legit look, I got my black belt from Laborio. Okay, we don't need to check anything. One of the things that I like about my coaches are they got their black belt from Helson, and then they just gave me my black belt.
Yeah.
For him, we're so close there, and he's really
for your
close
coaches.
too.
If any of your coaches, he's going through the process right now in Academy Safe. For any of his coaches, if we didn't do it already, we're either going to check belt checker or we're going to come back to you and be like, "Oh, I promoted them.
Yeah, it's
I
me.
promoted them, so it is me.
Yeah.
So confirmed." And then I know, you've gotten your black belt from Laborio.
Yeah.
We know your history. We've known you long enough, and I know your history that it's just
I'm Googleable.
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 Which is great, right?
Yeah.
I think that's important to have. Some of us get lucky and get an instructor that we're so close to the source itself.
Yeah. The lineage is just
it's
obvious.
It's so close. It's so obvious and so close that you don't have to then we got to ask this person to do. Oh, you don't have to look far. I mean,
but that is the beauty of jiu-jitsu, and especially with the internet, just there's a picture of everybody with their coat. I did belt checker, and I don't love that I have to put a picture of myself with the coach that I left, but my picture's there with the coach. Yeah. It's literally I'm there with the husband and wife, and there's my black belt. They right after the ceremony, I put the picture of them putting it on me. Right?
Where you're at now, could you possibly get another black belt then from where you're at now? Black belt?
No, you just
no.
I mean, people do that. People do that. Paul Geller is officially I don't think I'm misquoting anybody, but he's officially a brown belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
So it's okay, you're not a black belt in our Jiu-Jitsu, but I'm going to give you we'll give you a rank of brown belt. So he will get his second black belt from 10th Planet. Rogan has his black belt under Eddie Bravo, but he also has a black belt under
Machado.
Keegan.
John
Machado. Right, so he's got two, and then he's got his black belt, his Taekwondo black belt. So you can, you can.
10th Planet is a different style. You know,
it's right? Is it really?
So that's the like. I had this conversation with.
I would say I would take out the word style. And I would say curriculum. System, curriculum.
Okay.
I believe that one, in the overall scheme of things, is pretty fair, especially like the positions and the warm-ups and the knowledge of the terms and the like the movements, the positioning. I think it's fair. I mean, I feel like it is its own thing. And I would be proud. I would actually be like, incredibly proud to have that opportunity to go, I got my black belt in jiu-jitsu, a little bit more traditional, and then I went back and I did this, even if they made me a freaking purple belt, and then come up in this system. I think that's like quite an accomplishment.
Do you guys know who Gianni Grippo is?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a Marcelo Garcia black belt, but then he got a Lucha Libre black belt too.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking.
But it's like,
it's
okay,
the same thing as the 10th Planet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then could he get a 10th Planet black belt? And then can he get another black belt from another?
You can get a karate black belt. You can get a 10th Planet.
Lucha Libre is a different sport entirely. Is it based on the same thing? Yes. Like, I had this conversation with some of my higher end competitors, and like, I know you guys want to fight.
You can turn that off. It's okay. You can hit. Is it us? Oh, is it one of us? Oh,
it's my business. Sorry.
No, you can pick it up. Let's see who it is.
It's probably spam. The spam has been crazy recently.
It's super informal here. You can literally pay. I've had somebody texting me that I had to answer.
Do you want new health insurance?
Yeah.
But like I was talking, like I think travel is amazing, and I think you should be using, if you're a competitor, you should be using what you're doing to experience cool stuff. So tell me, I understand you guys are all hyper focused on MMA and Muay Thai and this and that. Like, do one gi class a week. Do one gi class a week just so you can keep progressing your belts. Because being a brown belt got me a 3-year free trip to Thailand and a free trip to Germany and Finland and England and all over the States and all this stuff. And a lot of that came from being a brown belt. Being a no-gi brown belt does not sell the same for some reason.
Unless you're Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, like for some reason it's just not the same. So like,
I get it.
Get your belt.
No, I'm with it.
It just seems more traditional. It sells. People trust it more because it's something they're used to seeing at the very least.
My question, and listen, I agree with that. You should get all the belts. But if I get I get a black belt under Rick and Phil, and then you get a black belt under Laborio, and Milton gets a black belt under whoever. I'm not sure who his instructor is. Okay.
I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not mentioning names.
Is it really vastly that like? We're talking like night and day difference of what we learned?
It's
Is
all
it night and day difference?
No.
Exactly.
But
I think the 10th Planet stands out as the one that's just a little bit
like
different.
when you get to like
not
no
even a little
also,
bit different. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that's the one.
It's the international representation of rubber guard. Not necessarily the invention, you know, Nino Schembri and what these other guys were, but like that's what they're known for. When you go, oh, rubber guard, 10th Planet.
I could see the guard thing. But let's say my instructor, who's really good friends with Eric Paulson, and he loves his stuff. He always like talks about his
Catch as catch can.
Yeah, like the foot locks, and you know, Eric's great. He'll like show us stuff, and we'll try. So if I've learned that from him, but then let's say Laborio learned something from a judo guy, and then he implemented it into something he showed you. But then we're exchanging info. Is it like, no, it's only Rick and Phil black belt. Like we only knew this stuff. This is what the black belts learn here. And then you're saying that. It's like, no, you like, don't know what's coming in from where.
At the end of the day, jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu.
That's
right?
it. That's
like,
it.
I brand myself as Hammer Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
Right? And everyone like, okay, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I still come up when you search Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because it is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Correct.
I'm just branding it in this way. Now, I know like Gorilla Jiu-Jitsu, the jiu-jitsu coach up in California, like he has different belts and different things. And maybe
Dave
it's
Camarillo?
and maybe it's a goof.
Oh, really? He does?
Yeah, like I think, what's his name? I think, what's it? Touchy McFeely. His last name's Feely.
I know the name.
you're talking about.
UFC fighter.
But he would walk to the ring.
His nickname was Touchy Feely. They called him Touchy Feely because
And-
the last name was Feely.
And he would walk. He's a piano belt.
Andre?
So
Is it Andre Feely?
Something like that. So like he would walk to the cage and he would have a white belt that has piano keys drawn on it.
Yeah.
Now, is that him making fun of jiu-jitsu, or is it this is my curriculum, this is my brand?
Okay.
And
Yes.
you can be a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but here you're a black belt in hammer jiu-jitsu, and here you're a black belt in
like
gorilla. Like that's my assumption.
I think
There's
if
something
if
distinct.
I mean, if you,
And it helps branding.
Yeah.
It helps branding.
Yeah.
It helps like
I mean, look,
I'm this or that.
you know the whole American Jiu-Jitsu argument, right?
Yep.
You've heard that.
Yep.
If you really
How it was
look
around
at the stuff,
hundreds of years
so Keenan Cornelius is one of the people that has like really voiced a strong opinion about that.
One would think he might have an issue.
We had I forget his name. It's a long time ago. He's not as popular as some of those other names, but the cat, they let the cat out of the bag, which was, we're calling it American Jiu-Jitsu on purpose to fuck with you, and you guys have given us all this attention.
Yep.
It hasn't been said like that, but the guest kind of said it. Is just like, it's just kind of like we say it and it bothers people, and we get more students because of it.
Yeah.
And there are people that are just like, America.
Yeah.
America.
That's it.
I want American Jiu-Jitsu. That's what it is. And they've let it out. It is the
no butt scooting.
In American Jiu-Jitsu, you don't butt scoot.
It's the ultimate, what do they control? The ultimate,
Kinda.
right?
And then it turns into a thing.
And then now it's American Jiu-Jitsu. Jake Shields was probably the first one that really said that. If you go back and
King
look
of the
at
Cage days.
when you see him, when they say Jake Shields fighting out of XYZ, whatever.
American Jiu-Jitsu artist.
American Jiu-Jitsu at the bottom. Not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, not Jiu-Jitsu, American Jiu-Jitsu. He's even, I remember.
And he was trained by Cesar Gracie.
He had shirts and he had the band.
There you go. And he's trained by Cesar Gracie. Yeah.
They call it American Jiu-Jitsu. Now, I can't say that I've heard him talk about it that way, but I've definitely heard about it like that way. I feel like I've seen it with Keenan Cornelius and the guest that we had, which again, it was like, God, it was in the double digits. I can't remember the kid's name. Gannon Lang. I don't know that he's very much like affiliated with Keenan Cornelius, but he was one of these American Jiu-Jitsu guys, and he kind of let the cat out of the bag. That it's kind of like, hey, this is kind of
Jake
like
Shields talk about it. He was like, the big difference between Brazilian and American is the pedigree of wrestling.
Okay.
And that was his interpretation. Because if I remember correctly, he was a pretty high-end wrestler before he came
more
to jiu-jitsu.
recently, it's been like it's the leg attacks. It's the below the waist, the heel hooks, and that
that's
stuff
new
is
for everybody.
But that's where
well, not the Japanese.
I'm saying that people that focus
on
on
Eric Paulson, he was on leg locks back in Shudo.
Oh yeah,
but that's why it's all kind of like you don't even like the whole like 10th planet thing that we were saying. Like, well, you get the 10th planet black belt, then you get this black belt. You don't like that. You don't like that.
I don't know.
I think it's more of like bragging rights. I think honestly, like it would be a little bit more. There's still you're learning a very distinct version of jiu-jitsu. I know that okay, there are certain moves that I do. I actually one of the things I said is when I was leaving my school, I had considered going to that 10th planet where Paul goes.
Give up the gi?
It's just so far. It's like I'm literally I can walk across the street. I could walk across the street to my gym. Huge. Before I can get to school faster than I can get in my car and get out of the building in the parking lot. It's literally that close. If I took the elevator straight down and went across versus taking the elevator to get to my car and then drive out, I'd be at the school already. That's how close I am. But I got lucky that I knew people there, and as I was going to go to 3 different gyms to check them out, I went to this one first, and I was just like,
I'm good.
I went to one open mat, and all of the other gyms that I'm going to go to had coaches and they all come to this open mat. You should come to an open mat. And that's
why people don't do that.
There's like the networking, the owners, the coaches. Everybody comes to the school, and I'm just like, we're like one of the smaller schools. I don't know if we're the smallest, but we're a smaller school in the area. Decent mat space. Okay, so like, but I was surprised. I'm just like, that guy has American grappling. This guy has, this is just different school names around there. I think we saw somebody from Silver Fox. I know, like again, me and another black belt are coming from my old school. Like. It was just all of the. I was always wondering why nobody was ever coming to our open mats.
Yeah.
At my old school, I'm like nobody would. I know part of the reasons why they don't come because now I've spoken to them and they're like, yeah, we don't. It's not fun going there.
What is the reason why didn't they come?
Because it's not an open mat. It's you'd go and it's an hour of training, drilling, his very specific jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
So if you're coming in off the street, you're like now you're in a class. And I know like some guys would be like, I've never done this or I don't know. Like you guys know this and you guys are flowing and doing it really good, and we don't know this, and I really just came to just do some rolling. I came for an open mat.
Is supposed to be
open mat.
rules.
It's an hour. It's an hour of training.
You don't.
And then
Which
when
is
people,
crazy to explain to someone who doesn't do jujitsu.
Fucking nuts.
when people showed up knowing that they would show up after the first hour, he gave them shit. He's just like, hey, just so you know, we do an hour of training beforehand. So, you know, if you're going to come, like, and they're like, I'm not coming for your training. I came for the open mat.
Correct.
So it really just put out this sour taste in people's mouths.
Makes sense.
And then, people started finding out about the things that were going on in the gym. And then they were like, oh, I don't even want to associate myself here. So, but when I went to the other school, first open mat, it was just like all of the gyms in the area. It's like a very centralized, this is the open mat. As a matter of fact, when we spoke to Drew Phoenix last week, he's like, yeah, you guys are the open mat. I mean, you guys are the gi open mat. Yeah. He's like, I'm the no-gi open mat.
Where's the no-gi open mat?
At
Commercial and power line.
You know, the
Extreme Action
Park with the it's further south. It's considered Fort Lauderdale off of Power Line and Cypress Creek.
Commercial.
Oh, commercial. If you take commercial. It's between. It's right near the corner of commercial. I take Cypress Creek.
It's Hard Knocks or A&M Jiu Jitsu.
A&M Jiu Jitsu, which is the old
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. And Christian, you know the name. What's the power drink? The sports drink? Kill Cliff. It's the old Kill Cliff that went up to Delray. So it's what's his name again?
Henry Hoof.
Henry Hoof, right? He still had the lease on that one, and now Drew has the lease.
Got ya.
Because there's a lease on, like, because that's that whole facility where you can go train and push sleds and do
it's owned
weight
by
training.
Some NFL guys and
Got
an NBA guy.
Okay, good to know. No, we've hosted open mat. I've hosted open. I mean, listen, I'm brand new to the area, right? I'm not even a year.
It's a great open mat to come to and network with some of those people, and you can. It is not. It's like the community.
It's not cliquey. It's
it's just like, hey, you got an open mat? I got an open mat. What's your day? Well, you have one.
Yep.
Like, and people are just like,
cool.
It's a ton of different schools, but go ahead.
Good to know. No, we've done some on Saturdays. I've had some people stop by, out of school people, but then I've also had some people just message me and ask me weird questions about my open mat, and I'm just like, is this like a real question? Is that
like hold on, what?
Well, do I get to pick who I roll with? Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, they're like, well, how many girls are there? We have a couple of women. Can I roll with? I mean, like the women are asking, can I roll with women? I'm like, yes.
I think, but that's another valid question.
Yeah, and
especially remember you're in South Florida, and you're in Florida. Period, where there's a lot of the bad things had happened.
I guess I don't.
So
see
you
it.
have
I'm
to know,
blind
like
to
the
it, right?
women know, and the women know it, and the women that train know it, and they don't want to go and open them out where it's just going to be guys.
I don't blame them.
So I mean, both of those questions are valid. I would say that first question is probably from a white or a blue belt.
Yeah.
The second question is probably from a woman who knows what's gone on down here, or just really doesn't want to show up an open mat and be rolling with strange men.
A bunch of dudes, which I got.
And remember, and that you don't even know. It's not even like you're going to your own school's open mat. So
and we had a
valid question so
another
far.
guy from BTT. Come over. He was an older guy, like 40s. He was a brown belt. And he's like, hey, man, I just got to ask you, how hard are you guys rolling? I was like, dude, I will roll as light as you want or as hard as you want. Like, this is not like open mat, like,
kill.
100%. Like, we can make it whatever you want. And then I asked him, how hard do you want to roll? He's like, I just want to flow and just go. Cool.
Again,
cool
valid questions, though, man. I think those are all valid questions. As a 52-year-old guy.
But as a person who's done open mats for 20 plus years, I think that those, if you've been doing jujitsu for a little bit, I think that those things should be like, I think that's the norm, right? Like, if you want to go hard, somebody's going to go hard with you. If you don't want to roll that hard, probably somebody whose upper belt isn't going to try to crush you or act like an asshole anyway. Yeah. Nobody's going to try to hurt you unless they're a complete
They
dick.
exist, yeah.
They do, but they're pretty minimal, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty far and few between. And there's usually not rules to like how much you have to roll. If you want to, you do. If you don't, you don't.
Some of my favorite open mats were days where I just sat on a bench and talked to sweaty people.
I mean, and that happens too, right? Yeah. So
I've only gone to our open mat a few times. I usually try to do weights on the weekend. I honestly, like, I train minimum Monday, Thursday are my favorite days. Thursday also, like, I get to help
Monday
coach.
through Thursday?
No, Monday and Thursday because of work, with weight training in between. And if I can get to the open mat, I get to the open mat.
Perfect.
So that'll be my third day. The only thing is, like, for me now at this age to do an open mat, I want, like, Monday, like, they really want everybody to show up. Monday's a huge class, 10, 15 black belts on the mat at any given time with a lot of youngsters. We do, so if I do a Sunday open mat, it's really hard for me to get to just my body. I'm beat up.
With you, bro.
You know, especially an open mat, probably going to roll a little bit harder with some strangers, and sometimes it's got its ups and downs, but sometimes I'm rolling with like younger guys who are just like,
they pick up the heat for sure.
So it's hard for me to get to Monday, but I definitely do Monday, Thursday. My fill-in days would be Wednesday. I could do back-to-back because then it's only a half hour of rolling versus a minimum of an open mat's at least an hour.
Yeah.
So I'll usually fill in with Wednesday or Sunday. But I've been so busy lately that it's just Monday, Thursday, and then in between is just weight training. So 3 or 4 days of weight training. So I'm doing something, but jiu-jitsu has taken a little bit of a backseat.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to go 6 days a week. I mean, how many... You guys, I mean, I'm talking to guys that own gyms, so you're there every day. Yeah. Are you open? How are you? 5 or 6 days a week?
We're open. We do open mat every Saturday, which we're
closed on Sunday.
We do not do Sunday. I do not do Sunday. We're closed on Sunday. I do classes Monday through Friday, and then Saturday we do open mat for all of our students at 11 o'clock. And we'll invite. I'll say like, hey, I wanted to invite. I know the guy at 10th Planet, Miami, Gabe.
Okay.
So like I'm like,
we had him on.
I'll invite Gabe, or I'll ask other people. I'm like, hey, come in. So, and we'll get some. Well, sometimes we'll get some other people, but I'll do 6 rounds, 7 rounds, whatever. It depends who's there that day, right? But I'm with you on that. The older I get, the more that I have a school, I have to watch how much I'm training to not exhaust myself mentally and physically, and be in cognitive ability to be able to perform at my job and with my family. I don't blow myself out. Like I really start to monitor. I don't
love that I only some weeks only train to, but I'm still lifting, so the lifting definitely helps me with recovery. Yeah. I love the lifting with recovery. I take usually like 1 day off, but it's like train jiu-jitsu on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday is going to be a weight day. Maybe I get to go to another class, but definitely Thursday. Fridays I'm here and it's a long day. I'm usually not going to get to the gym at all. It'll be a day off, and then Saturday and Sunday I'm lifting. Yeah. And then like Saturday, Sunday, one of those days is going to be leg day, which again, do legs and then go to a jiu-jitsu class where they're like, okay, 100 squats. And I'm like, fuck.
Hold guard. Don't let him pass your guard. You're like, my legs are noodles.
I know we could go for hours, and we could probably, that was fast. That was an hour and a half already.
Unlock the power of your online presence with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Their reputation management program ensures your Google business profile seen by more potential customers. Black Belt Digital Marketing is your full-service digital marketing agency specializing in local SEO and reputation management. Boost your business today. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com. Your success is their priority.
I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for 4 years. In 4 years, I got hurt 6 times. I received stem cell injections in my wrists, elbows, shoulders, both knees, and I got stem cells recently injected in my left index finger. After a week and a half, I was right back at it, going the way I like to go at it. Italy Heal Biogenics, they're friendly, they're patient, they answer all the questions you might have. Educate yourself. Call the Heal, ask about stem cells, and see where it takes you.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Real quick, let everybody thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. You're welcome here anytime. Just reach out. We'll get you on the schedule again, talk about more stuff. Let everybody know where they can find you. Let them know where you can find the gym. We don't have enough time.
No worries.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. Christian's going to throw us out.
All right,
it's quick. It goes back fast. So go ahead, tell everybody where they can find you. Instagram, your location, your address, the whole nine.
And I own Budo Martial Arts in Coconut Creek, Florida. The address is 5901 Lions Road. And you guys are welcome to come by and train for open mat or take a class.
Very cool. Yeah. I will.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, you should, man. I've been asking you to come by.
I told him before you got here, and I'm like, I feel so bad. He's so close, and I've always just got something going on. I am running 3 businesses. The podcast,
I've been to his gym.
Academy Safe. Have you?
He's been.
Sorry, man. It's like always something going on, man.
No
it is 7. I work 7 days a week.
You gotta do what you gotta
do. I do work 7 days a week, but one of the reasons I was like, I feel so bad. Like, just come in and let's talk about jiu-jitsu at least. Let's go. We can do this because I got to. This is part of work. I got to do this. Go ahead and we didn't give you a chance to talk about fight tape. Go ahead.
Good.
The camera's yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the North Palm Beach area and you train jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA, or maybe you're a fan, maybe you're interested, come by American Top Team Palm Beach Gardens. We will get you trained up and ready. Now, if you are a coach, cut man, or involved in fight sports in some way, I have just produced the most elite gauze available to man. I don't know if that's true, but I like saying it. It is called Fight Wrap. And in the next couple weeks, we will also have Fight Tape, and we will take care of all of your coaching and cornering needs in terms of hand protection. FightTape.us is the play. Go get your stuff there.
Give him a follow at Fight Tape US.
Fight Tape US.
Okay, on IG.
And of course, MMA Coach Ben, just for my loveliness.
So let me do my final shout out. So again, thank you both for being here. Charlie, again, always welcome. Ben's been doing an incredible job co-hosting. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Check out BioPro, bioproteintech.com. You get $30 off with code JJD on their regularly priced kits. The BJJ box, I actually have a box sitting on the floor that we cannot unbox today. We'll have to bring it back next time. BJJbox.com or thebjjbox.com. Get 20% off with code JJD20. You can check us out at Jiu Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. You can check me out at Uncle Milty BJJ on Instagram. Thinking about changing that. Uncle Milty BJJ. I don't know. I had an idea the other day. I didn't write it down.
Papi Milty.
Papi Chulo BJJ.
Bro.
Appropriate for South Florida.
Yeah. Milton Papi.
Thank you for watching and listening, everybody. We'll say goodbye right here on the middle camera. Thank you for watching and listening, everybody. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu. Beep. It used to, the music was like, beep, beep. Bo's going to leave this part in. It used to go, beep.